Well, I'll tell you that, the whole era of COVID has been a challenge that I don't think you get any training for as a coach, as an educational professional. It's been one of those things where you just have to be extremely flexible. You have to be dedicated to, the new medical necessities that equate to going to college or living in a society where you have to wear masks. You have to make decisions to kind of stay in small groups and do a lot of virtual things. And so as we got ready for this season, we really, most of our things that we've done have been virtual. And so as they've worked in the summer, that's been the case. We've had a lot of meetings, and I've never heard of Zoom before the last 6 months, but I think if I would have bought stock in Zoom, I'd be a rich man today. It seems like it's really been a cornerstone, that and other social gathering and meeting sites. So, but once we hit campus, we really appreciate the fact that our university is one that embraced the fact that if we are able to practice safely and maintain some social distancing, that we might be able to have some semblance of a fall season. And we really had not had any issues throughout the fall. So we feel fortunate that we had pretty much a full fall season of practice. We had very few interruptions because of COVID. We have certainly had, people in our families and so on, my personal family, and I don't think anyone knows anyone who hasn't been affected in some way with it. But so I think we've been very fortunate, and we're very appreciative just with our university allowing us a format to continue our programs, while we're waiting for vaccines and while we're waiting for therapeutics to try to, make some sort of solution to this problem. We're excited to have really a 50-game regular season, not barring any delays or problems with COVID. And of those 50 games, 28 regular season home games will be right here at our facility. And so we're excited about that. When we play at home, every game will be live streamed in some capacity. And so we really appreciate the commitment of our institution and our sports information department. During our live stream games, we're actually going to be, for our fans who have been watching from afar and could not attend our games in the past, it's always been traditionally a bird's eye view from behind home plate. And so this year we're trying to give more of a home plate view. And so from the fall, if you watched any of the fall games, which many people did because we didn't allow any fans, that's kind of the view that we're going to be presenting and featuring. And so I really like that view, to be honest with you, and I think it allows for kind of an in-depth look at what the pitcher and hitter are kind of facing, and you can really see the pitch move, you can see the hitter make adjustments, you can see the contact point. So I'm excited about that opportunity as we kind of present some of these games. But I think our fans can really appreciate, what our pitchers are doing to try to get hitters out, and they can also appreciate, what a good job the umpire is doing, because you can get a really better view of the strike zone. So I think it's just another thing that a way for us to kind of put the fan in a better view, if you will, and I'm excited about that. Well, the OLLU Nationwide Classic is going to be held this year, February 5th through the 7th. It is hopefully going to be an annual thing. Nationwide Insurance has stepped up and sponsored the weekend for us, and we're very appreciative of not only Nationwide Insurance but also all the other vendors and sponsors that we've had relationships with in the last several months. But we have a 3-day period of time, February 5th through the 7th. I think we'll end up playing about 5 games over that weekend. The participants of the Nationwide Classic this year are going to be Bellevue from Nebraska. And then we've got just picked up a team from Arizona, Ottawa University from Arizona. They'll be coming in as well and playing throughout the weekend. Houston Victoria, who many Saints fans know is in our conference, they won't be playing us, but they'll be there to play those 2 opponents as well. So we're very excited about the opportunity to kind of kick off our season with a home tournament and drawing in some teams from out of state. Well, the Red River Athletic Conference has certainly been impacted by COVID, and the very many members of the conference have all had to make decisions whether or not to play sports at all. And so we've had a few opponents who have chosen as a university not to participate in athletics for this spring. And so but we've also picked up Texas A&M San Antonio, which helped a little bit. So we've had 2 schools opt out of playing this spring. And so I believe there's 7 schools, including ourselves, that will be playing softball this year. And we've just went through our preseason rankings. Those have not been published yet. We were certainly in the infant stages of our season last year. We had just played 1 conference series when COVID forced all of us to take a step back from our season. So I still have not been on the field against many of our conference opponents. Our kids know. I've been able to watch several of them as we went to some similar tournaments, and so I've got to feel a little bit of what some of them can do. We are very interested in having Houston Victoria come to our first weekend tournament. Although we're not playing them, I will certainly be a big fan, and I'll be paying attention to all of their players and their strengths and weaknesses as they will be with us, I'm sure. But I think we're all in the same boat. We've been very, very supportive of each other. So I'm excited, and I think the question we get all the time is where we see ourselves in the conference, and I really believe that I believe we should be competing for a championship every year, and so we go into that mindset, and we speak it into existence, and we put the work in, and we respect everyone we face, but man, we really depend on, we believe we have earned confidence by how hard our kids work and how hard we prepare. So we're going to play very, very hard against every single one of them, and we'll take the results. Coming into this year is our second full season, although last year, as everyone knows, we were cut short a little bit with COVID. So we've got, I think, a stronger pitching staff this year. I think we have more depth in our pitching staff. And so our staff is led by Sierra Martinez, who is quickly being well documented in the record books here at OLLU. She's on the verge of breaking several very, very prominent records, and so I won't talk about those too much to put the old sports jinx onto her, but we're excited as we watch her kind of go up the leaderboard in several categories. And so she's kind of our leader, our veteran, if you will. We also have Kelly Salinas will be a kid that will be very, as a returner, very prominent in the circle. We provide depth with Ariel Montgomery and Felicity Villanueva. Alexis Valdez is also someone who finds some time in the circle. And then we also have a very important transfer that we had targeted after she faced us last year and did very well against us, and her name is Angela Ramirez. She's transferring in from Trinity Valley Community College. She was very successful in her 2 years there. She's a local product from Judson High School, and she provides us a lot of depth, and another kid who has proven that she has the ability to get hitters out at the college level. Yeah, so we have some kids who really are coming off some very, very good years statistically. But Joanna Gonzalez is really, in my opinion, one of the best hitters in our league and one of the best players in our region, and because I think our conference in our area is very strong, that means she's one of the best players in the country, in my opinion. And, you know, Madison Nunn is also a kid who is chasing many of our OLLU records, and she'll be in her 3rd year. And she really is one of the best outfielders in the area, as well as one of the best hitters and defenders. One of the kids who has set an OLLU record in her 1st year last year was Clarissa Santos, and she has a knack for on-base percentage. So she actually is one of those kids who does all those tough-nosed things that you really want out of a good player. And so her on-base percentage is so good because she really does a great job of crowding the plate, and she gets hit a lot. And I know we laugh about it, but she literally she got hit 15 times last year. The national record for a season at the NAIA is 16. She was just 1 away through 25 games when our COVID year. So that's why, one of the reasons why her on-base percentage is so good. But she's phenomenal. And then we've got another young lady, Diane Rivera, who also led us in runs scored, and she's a spark plug and a tremendous base runner. And then I think a young lady that has really developed this fall, and maybe we can talk about some kids this fall who came back. So one of the things that I think is very important as we develop a program to where I think it should be in a championship culture is you have to bring in good kids, but you also have to get development out of the returners. And we have a couple kids who really exceeded expectations because of their work they did in the summer and then this fall. And Jennifer Estrada is one of those young ladies. She made a commitment to turn to the left side and become a full-time slap hitter. And that's not an easy thing to do, but she really rose to be our leadoff hitter in the fall. And that really was not a role that she was going to be considered for at the end of last year. But so she really made some sacrifices this last summer, turning around, putting in a lot of time. And I think Diane Rivera also has made that commitment. And both of those kids now present some real problems for defenses. We've tried to create an offense that is a little bit of a multifaceted one where we can rely on some small ball and some speed, but we also have the ability to hit the ball at the ballpark. And so obviously you can't just predict when those things are going to happen. So you kind of have to listen to the game, as we say, and take what the defense has given us. And so I think that's going to help us be competitive as we go through this season. COVID seniors are kids who actually will be here for a 5th year, but we're going to celebrate them this year because it's their 4th year in academia, whether they have transferred in or whether they've been here all 4 years. So we have a handful of those, and we also have a young lady who is going to graduate early, and so we're going to celebrate her career here as well. So those kids are basically Kenna Kennedy is a kid that will be graduating on time, and so this is her 4th year, and so we'll be celebrating her career. Jalen St. Romain was also a 4-year kid here. Sierra Martinez, albeit this is her 4th academic year, she will be coming back for her 5th year as allowed by the NAIA. So, but she will be one of those kids that we'll still highlight. And then we have Clarissa Santos is also a 4th-year academic kid. Now the young lady that's going to be graduating early is Kaylee Salazar. And so she'll be graduating next winter, so she won't have an opportunity to play with us again, so we're going to celebrate her career this season. Well, we have a very good group of freshmen coming in. This is really my first recruiting class, if you will. So we've had a chance to bring in 9 total new faces to our program, and each and every one of them gives us some sort of stability, strength, depth in various positions. So I'll start with our transfers. And the very first one that we were able to bring in was Angela Ramirez from Trinity Valley. Again, she's going to be one of the kids that helps us in the circle, and she fulfills one of our starting pitcher roles. Julissa Moreno is a kid from Austin who transferred in after 1 year at UT Arlington. Again, she's an academic sophomore, but an athletic freshman due to COVID, so we are excited about seeing her career develop here. Alexia Camacho from Texas Southern is in the same situation, so she has actually 4 years of athletic eligibility, as does Eileen Campos, and she's a transfer after 1 year from Coastal Bend. So those are all 4 kids who bring a lot of experience and depth in various positions. We also added 5 freshmen. Some were previous recruits who I thought still fit the vision that we're trying to do here, and some are some kids that we kind of found that in our recruiting circuits. And so the first one that we brought in was Devin Miller from Ohio, and I actually met Devin in a camp in Detroit, Michigan, so a land far, far away, but their family really felt like OLLU was the right spot for them, and she's fit in tremendously well, and we're looking forward to seeing her develop. Kaylee Luna is another local kid that will help us a bunch, and then we rounded out our freshman class with Abby Elizondo, Eneli Garza, Kaylin Estrada, and then someone that we kind of came across late in the summer before the school year started, and we're happy we did, is Marissa Bradley. And Marissa Bradley, again, is a kid that we were recruiting in a game, and we were watching another kid, and she was playing that team, and she actually hit a couple balls that I don't think have landed yet. And so that got our attention, and so it was a perfect fit. She's a great addition to our team here. Well, I'll tell you what, I really appreciate the university and allowing us the opportunity to go and pursue donations and allow us to put in some sweat equity under some really good guidance. I'm a handyman, but I'm not that handy, so there's many things I can't do, but we've got some great community partners, and they all are in support of the vision and the mission of Our Lady of the Lake University. And I cannot speak more highly and be more impressed with the sponsors and the various companies. And I won't go through a list of them now in fear that I might skip one or two. They're all very, very important to what we do here. So we've made several things, items that we've changed to the field to help equip our kids to train. So we've done a lot of things. This last year, we've expanded our dugouts. We've replaced our backstop to more of a collegiate backstop, which was no small task. We've created now a warning track that will help all of our players home and away be safer, a warning track that goes all the way around our facility. And so it will provide, as the name would indicate, a warning to any of our players that when they're pursuing a fly ball, the fence is approaching. And so, that's something that we've done. We've also created and utilized some donated turf to help with the erosion and the dust and the playing surface by turfing in front of both dugouts and around the home plate area, which I think is not just aesthetically pleasing, but it's also very, very practical. And so we've also expanded our seating area for our fan experience, and the most exciting thing that we have done is just something that we've had another great company step up and donate a large shade structure, metal shade structure that will cover from dugout to dugout and support almost 100 feet of bleachers now. And so we're just very excited, very blessed that we're involved with an institution and a college and an athletic department that's so supportive in allowing us to go out and pursue vendors and certainly help us as well, as they've helped us with additional funds when was applicable. And I think people have asked me several times, have you taken any before and after shots? I just haven't. But I think those of us who have been in this area for a while can appreciate kind of where we've kind of come as a program and as a field, and we're not done. We're not done yet, but I really want kids and our fans and our community to be proud of our facility. I think our kids deserve it. I think our families and our parents and our community deserve it. We really want to be something special in our area and in our community.